I get incredibly nervous, if not anxious, actually, before public speaking, no matter how big the crowd or the audience.
Hey there. Today's video is all about the fear of public speaking, actually how to overcome the fear of public speaking using one hack that is not often spoken about. Prince Harry is no exception. In fact, 75% of the population suffers glossophobia, or the fear of public speaking, and on top of that, 85% of the people struggle with confidence. I belong to both of these groups, and just like Prince Harry, many people, they appear to be confident, but there are actually panic attacks hidden behind that confident look, and I'll get back to that in a moment. I really wanted to understand confidence, and so I studied it, I researched it, wrote a book about it, a course about it. I interviewed so many very confident people and speakers and celebrities, and they all have one thing in common. Nobody is born with confidence, but anybody can grow it, can develop it, can learn it with practice, with getting out of your comfort zone. But when it comes to public speaking, I found this one hack that was a real game changer. And practicing that gave me the courage to stand on a TEDx stage, to do more public speaking. And I really want you to know that you can turn your fear into confidence. I'll get to that trick in a moment. And I don't know about you, but I can really relate to Prince Harry's fear of public speaking. And he reveals that in his book. He even refers to it as having panic attacks. I'm just going to read a few lines from his book where he says, "My official life was all about being in public, standing up in front of people, giving speeches and talks, doing interviews, and now I found myself nearly incapable of fulfilling these basic functions. Hours before a speech, I'd be soaked in sweat. Then, during the event itself, unable to think, mind buzzing with fear and fantasies of running away. Oh my gosh." And then he says, "The panic often started with putting on a suit first thing in the morning." And then he goes on that it wasn't merely about public appearances, but also public venues and all of the crowds. "I came to fear simply being around other human beings." I came to fear simply being around other human beings. That's how far his fear went. He really struggled. And I think this is so beautiful that he shares that. It's so good to know, because sometimes we see these speakers, and I sure was one of them, that I was looking at other people thinking, wow, they're born with confidence. They speak so naturally, just comes natural to them. But it's not true. Just like Harry, that fear was real for me. And to be honest, it still is. Like, if I go on a stage, I still feel the butterflies in my stomach. I still feel some jitters, even when I'm recording a video for you like this. But with practice, it really becomes easier and it flows better. It's not the hack I want to talk about, but I just want you to know that a little bit of fear is normal. And what I do now is I shake hands with my fear. I'm like, hey, bring it on. Let's do this. Let's tackle this. The one tip that really helped me and my clients is, besides, of course, the fact and the mindset of believing in yourself, it took a lot of time for me, to really believe like I can do this. I can actually be a public speaker, having no confidence years ago and then doing this. But it's more than the mindset. It's talking from your heart. And that's what connects with people. That speaking from your heart is gonna be relatable and resonate with your audience. Speaking from your heart means speaking from your experiences, from your expertise, from your knowledge. It has so many advantages because you speak your truth, so you are appearing more authentic. Well, you are more authentic, but it's also so much easier for yourself to remember your talk because it comes from you. It's your own story. And speaking from the heart is so much easier. You have a message to share. You have a story to share. And that connects with the audience. That will engage them. That will keep them captivating, because at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want an audience to listen to you and to keep listening, to grab attention and to hold that attention. It's so hard if you have to memorize a script that is not really yours. When it comes to growing your confidence in public speaking, It takes practice, and there are several things that you can do to improve every time you practice, like the tone of your voice, the pacing, the pausing. A lot of these tips and tricks I talk about in other videos on my channel, and I always analyze other celebrities and people to show you examples as a guide. By the way, if you haven't done so already, can you hit that like button and the subscribe? I really appreciate that. What gives the most fear often, and it was the case for me too, is because I was focusing on myself, like how do I look and how do I appear and how do I sound and all of that. But if I speak a message from the heart and I share a message, it's all about that message. It's all about speaking your truth, and that will resonate, and that will really make a difference. You know the saying, right? People don't remember what you say, but people will remember the way you make them feel. And if you speak from the heart, if you tell your story, automatically you are adding your emotions, and it's touching the emotions of your audience. And that's the connection. You know, a lot of people make it so complicated and complex, and I want to have the right words and the right language. And often it creates a disconnect with your audience. But the other way around, speaking your truth and maybe stumbling here and there, that connects. Keep it simple. Avoid complexity. Avoid complicated words or jargon. And one person that does that really well is Gary Vee. He's a world-known entrepreneur, businessman, keynote speaker, and he always uses these simple languages. And I have a whole bunch of examples of him speaking in the video that you can watch right now. And if you can use that as a guide, as a model, and then make it your own talk, you'll be captivating, and you'll be mesmerizing, and you'll be memorable, and it'll be easy because it's simple. You got this. I'll see you in that video.